Hi, today I'm going to be talking about Back to the Future Part 4. Um, it's never gonna happen. At least when Robert Zemeckis is alive, then they try to make one, but then at that point, the actors who played, Marty and Doc would either be super, super, super old. How many supers did I need? Or have already passed away. Um, but still nice to hope, I guess. Um, Now, the only person who's really talked about this from the cast is the guy who plays Dr. Emmett Brown, and he said that it would have to um, focus more on what's happening in the modern day, what problems we need to face, but talk about it more in the Back to the Future universe, but still conveying that message. So basically, conveying just a huge message in the movie. That's what he said is would happen. There would definitely be a message that would relate to what is happening in the real world at that point. Um. Also, I also he, I haven't seen this show, obviously. But he said it might also be a crossover with Rick and Morty. I haven't seen the show, so I don't know what to say on the Rick and Morty side of things. But didn't really get what he was saying because he talked like because he said he'd Back to the Future related stuff. So either a part 4 or like a Rick and Morty special episode or something. But if it was gonna be part 4, I wouldn't want to see that. But I guess if it was in Rick and Morty, I wouldn't really care because I don't watch that show. Um, and I'm never going to, because I just don't want to. Then there's of course the problem with Marty's actor, which I forget what sickness he suffers from or whatever, but he is not in the condition to act really right now, especially not as the hyperactive Marty McFly. But honestly, they could change out the well, no, don't change the actor. They also said if there was gonna be one, they wouldn't recast him, even though a lot of people think Tom Holland would be the next Marty McFly. But uh, yeah, the Marty actor isn't in the shape to make a movie, but I feel like he wouldn't have to do that much action. Feel like just because it's been a really long time since the third movie, it'd be more of a passing the torch movie than a real continuation. And yeah, I don't release date wise in the far far future. 2065 is the closest that I see that coming out. So no, I don't think it's gonna come out anytime soon. Um, and also about the Rick and Morty one, it's first of all, that's never gonna happen. Well, they're not gonna be in Back to the Future Part 4 because that's a TV show and it's gonna end and people aren't gonna care about it anymore. So people, because Back to the Future is so famous, in 20 years when people are watching all the movies and they go to the fourth one, they're not gonna know who these cartoon characters are. So yeah, that's my biggest problem with that. Channel Awesome made a video on it recently, which was really good, and it wasn't really just the history and stuff behind it, because that's a long rabbit hole, which I'm getting into in this video. Which was just what they would like to happen in that movie, and it was really good, and I suggest it. It's Back to the Future Channel Awesome. I mean, it's from 2 weeks ago. Not a lot of YouTube channels are posting about 40-year-old movie that's only a trilogy with 3 movies every other day, so it would just be the first one that come up, is what I'm saying. But like, I don't think they would make it anyway. But also, the biggest question that I have on it is, you've got one side, which most people just land on. They've seen the movies. And then there's the other side, where there's a bunch of comics and a cartoon show, which I don't think is really canon to the timeline. But anyway, there's like comics, a video game, which I'm pretty sure is canon. Like, there's just a bunch of Back to the Future canon stuff that they'd have to deliver on in the fourth movie, which I just don't think would be possible. So I really think that those are just going to be canon for the people that think it's canon, and stuff. And will they be canon in the timeline if 4 didn't exist? Because I feel like 4 wouldn't be about the comic books, but just follow up on the movie. Because if they were to like do that, I don't know if it would be very good, because they'd be talking about events that most people wouldn't even know that it would happen. And I feel like Star Wars, for example, has a nice balance in between that. It's like, yeah, a lot of comic books and video games and stuff are canon, but they don't really go that deep into the characters that from like the movies or shows, or they might put some backstory behind them, but like they won't deal with their character arc, which is happening on screen. Sorry, something's annoying me on my action figure shelf over there. Anyway, even though it's not a Star Wars video, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. What I would think would happen, even though I know that this is what happens in the first episode of the cartoon, I already went on the ramble about how it wouldn't be within the main canon, it would just be in the canon of the movies. I think that this sounds biased because I like Jurassic Park, but I think it would be a really good idea if they went back in time and dealt with the dinosaurs or something, or maybe even brought dinosaurs back to their time, which would be like a whole Jurassic Park Dominion thing, and it would just be crazy with dinosaurs running around. And also, makes a great thumbnail. Like, you hit on this video because Marty was getting chased by a T-Rex on the front of it. That was awesome. That would be awesome. But again, I don't think that this will ever happen, or it's just going to be extremely bad and they recast everybody and it's just going to be an awful piece of garbage, which I wouldn't even be surprised, honestly. But guess that's my video on Back to the Future Part 4. Unless they like actually announce it and have a trailer, then I'm gonna make like a reaction video and like some other stuff and like a review and the whatever. But for the time being, this is my Back to the Future Part 4 video, and why it could be a cool idea, it could be garbage, and it's probably not gonna happen. So, bye.